Yeah, 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 yeah. Leave you alone.
How would you describe your music?
Uh,
Like if you had to give like a couple words to say who you are as an artist and why people should listen to you, how would you describe your music?
Raw, transparent, in your face. It's really, it's R&B for real. Like people say, I do R&B. Nah, I really do R&B. I'm really talking about shit niggas don't want to talk about. I'm really talking about my emotions and feelings and situations that I've been in and my experiences in them and how they built me or made me better or what I got out of them. I'm going into it all. So like, I really would say that it's that raw, unfiltered truth, the stuff that you know is reality, but you wouldn't talk about normally, you know, and kind of just trying to encourage people to, I guess by putting it out, encourage people to be that unfiltered. It's like, it's your life, and people can't know who you are if you never say what you are. Like, that's part of the power of being you, being able to express yourself without feeling like you're going to be judged or without caring about being judged. Like, I'm to a point where I don't care what people have to say about it. I'm just creating content that I really feel is honest to what I am and what I've been in in my lifespan. So just real honest, raw music that you can love. Like bop too, there's bops in there. We got the vibes, we got the blunt smokes, you get your butt rubbed on to some stuff. Like there's vibes in there that everybody from the teenager to the parents that have 3 kids and whatever, they can enjoy some of this stuff. Like, I got content for everybody. So yeah.
You say your parents are really into church, so
Yeah.
how was that kind of like showing them your music and realizing that for them it wasn't secular music in, you know, most Christians' eyes?
They kind of like, my mom is more cool on it.
Mm-hmm.
My dad is kind of like, I think him seeing us, and we haven't, not that we have had this conversation and had this exact, but in so many words, I feel like to him is what he saw himself possibly becoming, but he just never, he chose another road with it. So it's not like he's bad, he's tight on it, doing it. It's just like, well, he's learned to appreciate the choices that we're making. Appreciate us being adults for real and just really expressing ourselves. Like, because at the end of the day, I think parents just want to see you do well, whatever you do, and give your all doing it. Just fall in love with something. I think all of us, I don't think any parent is alive that doesn't want to see their kid fall in love with something and do it with like the utmost passion. So my mom, like, she's super, like, my sewing and stuff, like my doing it myself and stuff, she's super like that. She used to make her own clothes. She used to make our clothes when we was kids. So like, growing up around that, just getting older now, she's super encouraging about us being the best we can be. Like, don't be afraid to try stuff. Even had a conversation with her recently, her saying that me stepping out and actually pursuing what I love to do is helping her, like, kind of take that leap even at her age. So it was kind of cool to kind of see that come full circle, because you don't know who, you know, like, to hear it from your mom, it's like, all right, dang, all right, cool. So it's just kind of confirmation that you're in the right lane with it, more so than anything.
So where do you get your inspiration from, your music? And any songs in particular you feel like kind of was very personal? And
I think I draw it from everywhere, man. I'm more of like I love to be able, I like to think of myself as the guy who can talk about anybody's situation from my perspective. Like, I just kind of figured out my angle on life, love, how you deal with it, how you cope, how you experience. and my ability to kind of like just see it from another angle. I used my personal experiences to test and number for how I wrote songs. So a lot of my older stuff, even my newer stuff, is me talking about, hey, like this was this experience, this was that experience, and this is how I recently did a sort of kind of a memoir for my single I dropped called Beauty Lies, basically talking about why I wrote the song. I basically wrote that song Beauty Lies just based on how I wanted to be in love with somebody, but the timing just didn't suit it, and it wasn't. You know, I think sometimes we get angles of love that we think people, you just don't care, you're being selfish. Like, life requires you to be selfish. Life requires you to make hard fucking decisions that might mean hurting somebody that you didn't mean. If I'd have had more, like basically saying if I had more foresight, knowing that this was gonna happen like this, I'd have chose to not put that pain of you wanting to love me on you. Basically, that's what the song's talking about. Not put you in a position to ever have to love me, because I, long term right now, can't love you how you want to be. You know what I'm saying? You want to be loved. So, like, just being taught, having that conversation, man. And a lot of the music is just that. We're just talking about different experiences with women. Not a lot of people are used to hearing people be that honest in their music. And just reaffirming that people want transparency. They just need to see someone is willing to give them that. It's kind of my wish for artists to be super transparent. Like, that's why the guys I deal with, like a lot of the music, like, bro, that's one thing I told them. I don't ever want to be involved with anything that isn't honest. I'll never lie to you. I'll never tell y'all I never sell y'all a dream. Say it's gonna take less when it's gonna take more. I'll never paint a picture that isn't realistic for you. And I just think that people that are listening to and absorbing your craft, they need that kind of honesty. Because a lot of us grow up in environments where no one's that honest. And music is a way to kind of help us understand that being that honest is okay, and it's helpful, and it helps you grow, and it helps you be better. So I'm getting that kind of feedback. So I'm like, okay, cool. I'm getting that kind of feed. Actually, I pretty much everywhere I've sent it. I haven't put any huge promo behind it yet, but my stuff is dropping. My EP actually drops in May. Tom's EP actually drops in May. My prequel dropped this past week. So just giving people stuff like to help you get through your day, and hope you relate. That's really all it is.
But artists, like, I'm not sure if you're familiar with like a K. Michelle or something like that. She's very vocal about kind of the same things that you're saying, especially with working with labels and not really being able to showcase what she wants to say, and kind of taking that different approach where she's more of a country music artist than really R&B because of what she wants to talk about and things of that nature. So how do you feel about labels now? I know you expressed that you're starting a label. Well, you have a label now. So how do you feel about that approach that you're going to take with your label?
You just gotta let artists be what they are. I think a lot of it is that you gotta think about Sony and a lot of these companies are such beasts that it becomes so impersonable. Like, it's not even about, it's about they gotta cover their back end. Whatever they put in the promotion, they need to get that back. So, like, your feelings don't come into that play 99% of the time. So I think a lot of it is companies have created bigger beasts than they're actually able to handle. As far as personal, like, there's no, you hear a lot of artists say that I made it, there's no room for your feelings in the industry. Well, that shouldn't be a thing to me, because it should be, you should have built something, or invested yourself in something, or signed it. I wouldn't ever, let's put it this way, I wouldn't ever have put my name on a piece of paper that I didn't feel like I would be myself doing. Like, I'm not signing up to do what I can't do. Like, you're not going, I can't drop my album when I want to. I can't do shows when I want to. I can't get in the studio when I want. I can get in the studio when I want to, but I can't release the music right away. I can't do it on my own schedule. Like, a lot of artists by signing, like, the fame, they sell you fame, and you get the fame and realize that this shit ain't it. You feel what I'm saying? So, just people. I think if it was a better job, I think people just need somebody, see somebody who kind of like the Rick Rosses or whatever. You see those guys kind of build it from ground up where they didn't go. You might get publishing deals, and signing to a label is two different things.
Exactly, that's exactly what I was trying to get to.
Yeah, so publishing deals and signing to a label are completely two different beats. Publishing deals, they give you basically per se a stipend for your promotion, music, releases, and all that stuff to get you where you need to be, to get your artists off how you need to get them off. But you still own all your rights to everything, music that drops and all that stuff. You still own your rights to that stuff. I think the biggest fault you see in the industry is that artists there's a shit ton of managers and nobody's accountable. Like no artist is, hey, boom, I allowed this manager to check my books for me or book appointments, and I'm never accountable for it. Like then some money come up missing, and boom, boom. Like once funds start missing, you see a ton of artists Tekashi before he did jail time, they fleece him for like $3 million. Like a ton of that happens because you're not business. Nobody ever taught you business. And the artists I work with, I tell them, I said, I want you to understand what you're getting yourself into at all times. Like this is not like some, oh yeah, it's just music, or nah, it's way more to being an artist than just the music. Artist is probably 20-30% artistry and 80 music. Like it's really like that, it's like 70-80 business. I definitely would love to tour, see people, places, and things that honestly gives you the more content, more to talk about. Like experience is the volume that I use to create music. So I definitely want to get out, see, experience, feel, and bring it and put it into music. So you guys just have more, like you kind of can. Music is kind of a way where people, the consuming audience, can travel with you without ever leaving. And only way for them to travel with you is for you to leave and create. So I'm definitely planning to take a little tour trip, maybe 3 cities, 10 cities, and just go see some shit and experience some shit, experience people, experience vibes, and create more content and more music, and just let that be the catalyst for boom. I love Virginia, honestly. I like my quiet, and know I've been Chicago, New York, Philly. Ain't nowhere as quiet as Virginia. Like it isn't. It just niggas got wild taxes here. Cool. Yeah, tax everything, tax your snacks, whatever. But as far as like being able to just kind of like, nothing gives me the vibe like being gives me a vibe for real. It's not like if I could be at LA for a year, 2 years, maybe 10, like coming home is home. Like I was born and raised here, like nothing gonna feel like this ever. I can go to 25 different countries and come back, and Virginia's gonna be like, when I retire, I wanna be here. I don't wanna be in LA. Like I don't know LA. Like I don't wanna be anywhere else when I settle down. When I come home, I want it to be Virginia. So if I've been traveling work, cool, but at the end of the day, I want to come back to Virginia. From being an artist and producing and engineering and stuff, I've learned that working with artists just want to create. And they just want a safe space to create without being judged, without being told that they're wrong for saying what they're saying. Just to say what they say what they feel, and do it unapologetically at all times. That's why I hope to have created my own facility, my own building, where you have multiple avenues, creativity, videography rooms, like place for shooting, space for all that, studio space, all that. So 5 years, I definitely plan to have my own 5 building where all that stuff is located, where people can come create from all places. From out of town, you can come to VA, work. If you're in town, you need to shoot a video, you need to shoot a photo shoot, you need a studio time. All that's in one hub for you to be able to come create.
That's dope, because that's kind of like the same type of path that I want to go on.
Okay, so you can find me on Instagram at J.Confina _Esquire. It's CONFINA _ESQUIRE. J.Confina _Esquire on Instagram. On SoundCloud, you can find me just type in Confina, which is CONFINA period. So CONFINA period. Same thing with iTunes. Same thing with Spotify. And any other platform, you can find me up there. My singles on those platforms. I'll actually be dropping more. Like my prequel will be up. My prequel EP, the Times prequel EP, will be up on Spotify and iTunes in the next 2 weeks. So, and as well as my EP drops in May. I don't have a date yet, but it drops in May. I'm gonna have a date, so be on the lookout. Some features up there, some artists I really enjoy working with, and I'm super excited for you guys to hear new music. I've been working really hard on this stuff, so yeah.
Anything else you want to tell the people before we end this interview?
Be yourselves, man. Create freely. Trust what you feel, and don't let anybody tell you different.